So your channel does not doing promise mobile live streaming. You can still stream with your webcam or talk.
Well, it says I am live again. So go on there and see if you can like hear me or I don't. Seeing that it says no, it says I don't have access to the webcam. Picture, cast media to device.
Yes, you are on it. It says live and on it.
Okay, do you see, can you hear me? Oh, somebody's on here. Hey, the JB Jeweler. You hear me? Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's somebody here. Yeah, I have completely clueless what I'm doing. So just bear with me. I've only got 113 subscribers. I can't believe they're even letting me go live. So, what community are you from? Oh, you can hear me now. We got to turn me down. See, you couldn't hear me earlier. So, JB, what community are you from? Well, you could be from community. So, I'm all over YouTube. Yeah, same here. Mainly crime. Well, that's cool. You have a channel of your own, or you can type. Yeah, you can type. I got my husband here trying to help me. Okay. Yeah, I just got my channel back. They'd taken my YouTube away right in the middle of somebody else's live, which is sitting there listening. Said so many violations. I'm like, I haven't even posted a video in months. I'm not sure. I appealed it. And I get back on here and they're letting me go live. Yeah, same here. I only have a couple videos. I'm just was kind of putting up here our experiences we had with paranormal in our house after a friend of mine passed away, or kind of what my videos have been about. Um, so I was afraid that maybe I'd violated something because we have talked about because of the way my friend passed away. He did it at his own doing. And I know there's words you can't say in here, so I thought maybe that's what I took my phone I'm not sure. They never did give me an explanation either way. They just took me away and wrote that. I'll go live. I had to have a thousand sections up. Very cool. Yeah, I'm pretty open minded about a lot of things. Huh? What'd you say? Sorry, I was. Yeah, like I said, we just had some experiences going on at house. And we had over 100 because we just mainly recorded. Um, we didn't do a lot of video or anything like that. So that's mainly what I put up. Piece that we captured. Pretty wild, to hear your friend's voice after he's passed away. It was life changing for both of us. Yeah. Uh, I was I mean, I believed and I've had some experiences, but this was like the proof I needed, I guess. No, it was probably about how long has he been? It was so crazy. We had a medium. I live in Austin, so we had Austin Paranormal come, and a medium, and they didn't charge us, so I thought that was pretty cool. Um, and they just kinda came here, did a spirit box session. She kinda talked about things she was feeling, and she was right on about a lot of things. I talked to her over the phone before she came over, and really, really liked her. We met 'em at a coffee shop, then they came by the house and did their little investigation. That's my dog in the background dreaming, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Some pictures too.
Yeah, we have a couple pictures, but mainly it's just audio. It was pretty crazy though. We got, the first one we ever heard was him saying he'd love to experience something like that. Yeah, it was like I said, we've had a couple things, like my daughter got something on a recording when she was like in, she's grown now, when she was like in middle school, and it was, she was recording her cat, but it was on an old cell phone, and it was this raspy man's voice, and her and I were the only ones in the house, and it was really loud, like right in the microphone. She kept running into it was like it said, "Keep it away." It was real, "Keep it away." And I freaked out, and so I come out, it was my DVR, I'm like, "Is everybody say anything?" And she's like, "Show yourself." And I'm like, "No." And I ran back to my room. I'm like, "Don't ever do that." So that was an experience we had. But then a couple years later, when our friend passed away, the feeling was it was a lot different. It changed the whole feeling of the house. Yeah. It was really heavy. Um, he was a loud person in life. He was a little guy. He was very matter of fact about everything. He did not believe in ghosts. We tried to talk to him a couple times about it. He said, "That's a bunch of crap. Don't believe it." He was set in his ways, and he was I think something actually happening to him. It wasn't just all blacked out, nothing. He thought once you died, that was it. And I think when he realized that's not how it is, I think he freaked out. I mean, but he had a little dog. He was like a little short German Shepherd. I'm not quite sure what kind it was. It was just like his buddy. And you could tell because and his dog's name was Spit, and Spit was only allowed to take 1 toy out in the yard at a time. And I guess when we went over there afterwards, because this time we didn't know what had happened. We thought it was an accident. "Hi, how you doing, mermaid?" "We're just here chatting. This is
Oh,
my first time ever going live, so I thought I'd give it a
oh, there
try."
you go.
Um, anyway, so Spit was only allowed 1 toy, and we went out there to kinda because the cops brought his dog over for me to watch, and I had to take him back to his yard and make sure he was secure in there. And there was a bunch of toys out in the yard, and he had him like in a circle. So what he was doing was he was distracting his dog while he did this. And so the first EVP we got from him was one saying "not dead," and it was his voice. I mean, it was just like kind of a deep whisper, just "not dead." And then the next one was "distract spit." It took us forever to decipher what that was saying because we just never I could hear the word spit and I knew it was his voice, but I didn't know the word. So my daughter came over, we put it up on speaker and decided it was saying distract. So, but that's all on my channel too. I've got the EVPs out there. And once that happened, it was on. We just started recording almost every night. It became so, it was addictive because every night we were getting something. I mean, it was, and then it was like not just his voice, but so many more voices were coming through. We got a female um, that kept saying Veronica, and he'd had a friend that he called her Tootie. She was from um, Louisiana, and she had passed away a few months before. We never knew who she was. He just always called her Tootie. And then we did some digging around after that and found out that her name was Veronica. So that was pretty wild. The medium that was here did say that he was his father, who had passed away a few months before that, too. His father and a woman were here trying to get him to go, and he wasn't having it. He was just, the medium said, when you do that to yourself, when you choose to leave the world on your own terms, it's really hard on your soul. And she says it's like walking in mud up to your knees and just it's just really hard. And there's things you have to go through in order to, be able to move on. So I think with him being raised Catholic, I think he really thought he was going to hell. And I like to think we got him where he needed to be. And after that, during that whole, they were here for what? Probably about 3, 4 hours. The guy from the paranormal team. And I tell you, it was so exhausting. I mean, we had severe cold spots in the house, which I've never, ever played. I've never, yeah, I've never done played with black magic before. And lots of people want to contact ones that it's just as easy, I think, as just hitting record on, I found a really good audio recorder on my phone. And it took me going through several of them to find one that didn't sound like somebody was talking underwater or anything. This one's really clear. And that's the only thing I record on. But that's just hitting record. The spirit boxes they have. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know what do you say. Sometimes spirit boxes you sometimes the spirit boxes I feel are kind of hokey. I mean, I don't know because it's hard for me. You could almost hear anything you want to hear through those things. The ones, but some of them we have gotten like when they say my name or answer a specific question, it's like you know you've made some kind of communication too. I haven't not posted that one. I did ask a question. Sean was like, I want to know if my grandmother's listening. So I was just like, oh, you asked what happened to me when I was little at Busch Gardens, and then he left the room, and then it came back. Or what did the deer do to me at Busch Gardens? Yes, that's what the deer do. Well, you said what did okay, what happened to yeah, and I this voice came over, it says bite. And I'm like, did you get bit? And he had left the room. I'm like, what the heck? And then oh yeah. I called him I said, well, what an ass or something like that. And then you hear asshole come up like that. I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. Yeah. And my best friend passed away. He passed away in his sleep. He drank for many, many years, but um he's been gone for a few years, about 15 years now. And I got on there and asked if he was there, and he always called me C was the nickname he gave the letter. And that come up a few times. And then my name is Stacy. That's pretty a specific name. When you hear that coming over, yeah, my name is so creepy being whispered. I just have to say this because I've had my name. We've captured EVPs that say my name, and it's just like, "Stay." I mean, oh, my name. You had your mother's ashes. Here, but I can smell her favorite perfume, and that's her. Anytime the perfume or you have very vivid dreams, I'm a vivid dreamer anyway, but these dreams are very much different. You'll never forget them. They're so You'll know one if you have one. They're so vivid. I've had for years. I when I dreamed of my mom, she was like in the distance, shaking her head, not even looking at me, and I'm like, I disappointed her. What have I done? And she passed away when I was 23, and she was never beside me or anything. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago I was talking with my stepsister. My mother had cancer, and they told her, "Oh, you're in remission, everything's great," and she kept telling me, "No, it's still wrong." She was, like, dizzy, would fall back, or, she just knew it was in her brain, and within 2 months, she was dead, and I was just so devastated, and she'd gotten so thin, but, when you have cancer, I guess, it's something that happens. Well, my stepsister told me that my mom had decided she was not going out that way. She was not gonna have somebody, you know, taking care of her like that. If she couldn't take care of herself, she was an avid dieter all of her life. She could not eat or whatever, but she stopped eating, and I didn't. She did. She told my stepsister, "You tell anybody, I'm gonna haunt you forever." But my stepsister finally told me, she said that, "Well, thank you, appreciate it. And sorry for your loss, JB. I know it's really hard to lose a parent, especially when you're so young." And but she stopped eating, and she when she passed away. And once I got my stepsister told me that, like, within the next 2 or 3 nights, I had a dream about my mom, and my mom was right next to me, and we were having it was a nightmare, but my mom was right next to me, and we were living it together, we were running this and and ever since then, she's been right next to me in my dreams. I think she wasn't looking at me in disappointment that she was disappointed in me. I think she thought I was gonna be disappointed in her. And I think at that time when I was that young, I was really, I had a little 3-year-old son. I really needed my mom, I might have been upset with her then, but I understand where she's come, where she came from now. So, but like I said, that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I was holding my mom's hand too, and I found that to be very she was there for my first breath, and I'm there for her last. It just seemed like that's the way it's supposed to be. It's really hard. I'll never forget. But like the closure you needed, and it was almost kind of must have been kind of spiritual or kind of, you know, uh, yeah. There's this great video of this man. Now it's not a great video. I shouldn't say that of this man passing away, but they had camera he shared his dad passing in the middle of the night. He was sitting next to his dad, and um, thank you. You too. I mean, that's I'm gonna be there for your parents for sure. My dad, I came and I spoke with him and everything, but I wasn't there with his last. They took his last breath. He did call me before he went into the hospital to tell me that this was it. He's going. That it's like it's weird how, but this video, this man, his son published it to YouTube, and it was so amazing. Oh my goodness, she's so young. That's how old I am. Oh, bless your heart. Oh, I'm sorry, paranormal gaming. That's terrible. That was so awesome you took care of her like that. I think my mom was afraid. I was like, "I'll take care of you." She's like, "Oh, hell no." She joked around with me a lot. Oh, gosh, so young. I look back, I remember when I thought the 50s and 60s were old. The closer I get to all that, I'm like, "That's not so old. That's kinda young." Oh, my mom passed away in 94 and my dad in 97. Wow. Both my dad was in his early 70s. I was a late in child life for them. And, my mom was like 63. Gosh. But yeah, but this video of this man, it was so he was sitting there with his dad and he was singing Amazing Grace. He's a preacher. And his dad was doing that labor breathing that you do right before you pass. And I didn't realize that's like normal. It sounds when you're watching them, it's just like, like they can't breathe. But he was doing that breathing, and then you just see all these. Now, I'm not a huge believer in orbs either. I mean, it's got to be, like in your face. I mean, because a lot of it's dust. The camera's going to pick up things like that. And, but when you have them moving oddly, and you could tell on camera that it's not bugs, or because you could see a bug's legs and wings and all that. But there was these orbs flying, what looked like orbs flying around this room with this man, and his the son said, yeah, at the time my father passes, you could see one come out of his chest, but it wasn't that at all because you could tell that orb that he saw coming out of his chest that he thought was his dad's soul leaving. It was the orb came from underneath, like you could see it from the floor up. What you could see, and somebody in chat or in the comments said, "No, watch his forehead," and they gave a time, and you could see this little wisp of, like, smoke almost, just it wasn't like an orb, just this wisp shoot out of his forehead, and then some of the orbs kinda came around it, and then it just darted through the wall from behind him, and it was so cool to see something like that.
That was right.
Like that, and they say when that you weigh 2 ounces less when you die, and people think that that's the soul. Oh, did she really? She predicted all this? This world's so scary anymore. Yeah, I, try not to think about, the a war coming, shortages, and I mean, my god, you can't even afford it anymore to even eat or get gas, it's crazy. I know that a few meetings have spoke about, like, you really need to stock up on water. Water's gonna be the big thing, and I'm just kinda stuff makes me keeps me up at night. I try to just think about, when we pass, how great it's gonna be. Yeah, and you don't know if it's just because of we have more, the social media and YouTube and all kinds of stuff to where are we hear about it more, or has it really just gotten so bad? I mean, like I said, I'm in part of the true crime community, and all these missing children are just yeah, it's expensive here in Texas too. It's like not just a couple things went up, it's like everything went up. They did a whole I mean, everything. Eggs are almost $4 now. Are you a prepper? Not me. Not me at all. I guess I'm just one of those I hate to think about I got a granddaughter, she's just little. I'm just scared of her ever starting school. My daughter's like, "Oh, when she starts school," I'm like, "Please don't put her to school. Please don't." I mean, when I was growing up, you didn't I mean, a fist fight behind the gym or something, that was, a big thing, but to actually have to buy a thing you put in your backpack to that's bulletproof for your kids to use as a shield, and somebody was saying that they put, like, little blood those little Remember in school or Halloween or whatever, you those little blood things you put in your mouth, and then it makes giving them that to make it look like so they could play dead? That's absolutely insane. Nobody should send their kids to school
That's a
prepared
wild
to.
west.
Yeah, I mean, we used to have tornado drills that we go in the hallway and put, your head down and your arms behind, and fire drills. That was our big thing. Yeah, I would have to. I'd be so. I would have to prepare for everybody. I know my daughter. She barely prepares herself the next day, I guess. And my son, I think if he would think about stuff like that, it would stress him out so bad. Yeah, that's so terrible that your kids have to. So I told her, I said, "Why? We're not sending her to school." I think she thinks I'm kidding, but we ain't sending that baby to school. She can be socialized. You could meet some other mothers that are home, all get together and hang out or something, or I don't know. She'll get socialized somehow. I just go to school. I don't know. And the way they're teaching kids in school these days, I mean, my God, I mean, they don't even teach them how to budget or pay bills or anything that's really practical. And then, you know, I don't know. I just don't like our school systems much. I mean, I was never too impressed with it. Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Canada too, and things are outrageously expensive there too. Luna, there you are. We were just talking about you. That's my baby girl. We're talking about sending kids to school. My baby ain't going to school. Dad call you? Yeah, I decided to go. I lost my channel and then I got back on here and it just popped up again. And then it let me go live. Usually you can't go live with only 100 subscribers, but it's been chatting with these guys in here doing paranormal things. And she's the one that started yeah, middle school sucked for. We were talking about that the other day for everybody. That's when your hormones are crazy and the kids are just. I'll watch the kids get off the bus here. The elementary school kids are like, yeah, and all happy. And the high school kids just kind of have their headphones in, their head down, walking home. And the middle schoolers are just the foul mouth. I mean, just F you screaming in the streets. And I mean, just he. But my daughter was the one who we were talking about the whole ghost thing earlier when she got the creepy EVP. And she was like, show yourself. Yeah, I told him about that. And I went running back to my room. You never do that. And we were talking about Kevin a little bit. She's also the one who figured out what Kevin was saying with the distract spit EVP. She was so scared. I was. Show yourself standing next to me like you're all tough. You come running in there. Here, listen to this. Freak me out. Now she's all. I'm like, I ran. She was like, wait, where are you going? Followed me running. Yeah, yeah, so then he calls my husband calls me one night and he says, I opened up this is after my son had moved out. My daughter was still living there and he kind of took over my son's room as his man cave. And he called me and he was freaking out and he was like, I had a whisper in my ear. I mean, he's like right in my ear. And I'm like, where are you? And he's like, I'm outside. I'm like, where's Miranda? He goes, I guess she's sleeping still. So he just kind of left you out there in the cold. But yeah, my daughter was always hearing, you know, and I believed her. I just didn't realize, I guess, how bad it was. She was always one of those creepy little kids. The brothers would get freaked out. She's in there talking to herself again, but it sounds like she's just answering questions, like somebody's asking her something. Or well, I'm talking about when she was little. She was talking to something. And she was like, "All right," she'd say her name and then her age and then where she went to school. Like so. That was she was always scared of her brother. And then it was when we moved into this house. I showed the kids where their rooms were. I pointed to the boy, "Put your room in there, and that's going to be your room." And she came out, looked me straight in my face, and says, "I don't like the people that live in my closet." And I said, "What?" Well, I said, "I already bought the place, so," I said, "Go make friends because this I already bought the place. You need to make friends." She was like, and she never used her closet. I mean, never. Yeah, that's where Barbara and the other lady did too, but I didn't like that other lady that came here. We had Austin Paranormal come out twice, and that was the same area. Barbara, the first medium, had described when she described the house. She described when you walk in, there's like a bedroom or something that's off to the left. She described my daughter's room, and she's like that corner of that area. I'm like, that's the freaking closet. But she never used it growing up, ever. I just use it for storage. She put a door up, and then she also put like a something in front of it, made sure nobody was gonna get in that closet. And I guess I didn't really, I don't know. I didn't really talk to her about it. I guess I didn't want. Now I'm all like trying to pick her brain, and she's like, "I hung up that phone a long time ago." She says that she couldn't sleep at night, just all she heard was like voices around, just talking, talking, and she was just like, "I just had to hang it up like a telephone." And then now I'm like, "Well, pick it back up. I want to know, what's kind of." And she had feels things, and but again, I don't want her to either, 'cause she has a baby now, and I don't want her bringing some crazy crap home. Yeah, your closet light, by the way, Missy, we've had that light bulb, and I've left it on for months. I mean, yeah, that's right, I gotta protect the baby. But we've had that light on forever, and it has not ever gone out. Not once has it burned out. I've changed every light bulb in this house probably 3 or 4 times and still have not changed my closet light. Yeah, it's pretty wild. We were just but we were in there this weekend because we were doing all this we're she come and helped me put away stuff and getting ready to bring Christmas stuff out. And so we were in her closet. She goes, I don't really feel anything in this closet. We're staying in Tyler's closet. And she goes, this closet feels there's some funk in here, kinda. I was like, probably because we're doing all that moving in there and everything that kinda went into I don't know, but I think it's the land, 'cause the medium had said that too, 'cause we have a field behind us, and she says it's like wall to wall people stacked in this field, standing there, and then now they're doing construction, so that's kinda pretty wild, and I haven't really noticed. And the same thing that you saw in the backyard? Okay, sweetie, you go get some sleep. I love you. Call me tomorrow. But the same thing that the, medium and Bill, the guy from Austin Paranormal, said something outside the window is very, just standing out there. And it's not like a bad or good or anything. And Miranda said the same thing, that there's something by that tree. She says it's just neutral. She goes, it's not good, it's not bad. So I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. He did say it, but and even the medium said really negative here.
You need to post that. Look at Cameron. Good posting.
I'm glad you're still here. Just listen to me ramble on. I need to post what now?
Video.
Me too. I always work nights too. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. I work nights. I've been working like third shift for about 15 years now. I'm a night owl. I raised a family of little night owls too. But yeah, that video of Kevin crossing over. But they were over here, like I was saying earlier, about 4 hours. We were listening to Spirit Box. We were, he did prayer. Um, I mean, there was this cold spot that was just weird. I mean, I never felt just one spot in a room that's you put your hand in, it's ice cold. And we were sitting here for 4 hours doing this, and I was sick for 3 days in bed, like out. Did not feel good. Was nauseous. It was it was pretty crazy. I put it up there with how you life experiences like having my kids. Oh yeah, when we were kids, we had a Ouija board on Christmas. We played around with it, never did anything. It never moved. We never like really didn't even know. I didn't know what the name of it was. I couldn't even pronounce. I was like, "What does that say? What are we supposed to do?" I had no clue. So we never really messed with it. And now today, there's no. I don't even want Ouija boards for too many bad things. Um, I've been tempted, but no. But I thought listening to the audio and hearing their voices was probably even crossing a line that we're not supposed to. But yeah, it was. I put it up there with how I had my children was some of the best experience of my life. Giving birth to my babies, and I put talking to the dead right up there. If not, there's some days it surpasses that. The kids are rotten, but some days it was life changing. Like I said, I was always a believer. Want to believe something, and this was fact proof in my head that now I know for a fact there is life. And sometimes that's comforting, and sometimes I just hope because I'm not a big believer in, I'll say the Bible. I'm not a huge believer in that book. I do believe obviously there's something, beyond this life. And I don't think it's, I don't know. I'm very confused about organized religion and stuff like that. I just kind of stay away from that. I feel it causes more war than it does anything, but that's just my opinion. But to know for a fact that there's so my daughter was asking me this weekend, she's like, "So what object in this house of yours would you haunt?" I said, "I'm not haunting an object, honey. I'm gonna be all over everywhere between your and my son's house. I'm gonna be haunting both of you. First, I'm hoping I'll see a light, and I'm gonna run to the light first, and then hopefully I get to come back and I'll haunt you all." So what happened to your friend who played with the Ouija board? Did they experience bad things afterwards, or have we? And I also make rules in my house too. When we started doing this, and we were getting all these different voices, and our rule was no, I don't want to see you. I can hear you. I don't need you to stand in front of me. And rule number two was don't. Or rule number one was don't mess with my animals. We have a couple dogs and some cats. Do not mess with my animals, or I will exercise your butts right on out here. And two was I don't need to see you. I can hear you. And three was like you don't need to move anything. I don't need to see something move across the table or anything like that. Um, and so far we've been pretty lucky about that. I haven't seen nothing's flying through the air. We did have a little girl. We catch her voice. Even we caught her voice, and I didn't say anything to the first medium that was here, and she immediately picked up on it. She's like, She's like 14. She goes, she's real happy-go-lucky kind of. She goes, I'm not sure what her deal is, but I know she liked our dog. We had a Rottweiler named Storm, and she just passed away a few months ago. And the minute she passed away, my cats went ballistic. I mean, they jumped all the way up on the kitchen cabinets, all the way on top of them, were flipping around, running around. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I noticed that our Roddy had passed away, and I'm like, he was chasing their asses. You believe it's just ice over there? I don't know what that means. But yeah, so I know Storm was chasing them around Antarctica. You believe it's just ice over on the other side? Gosh, I hope so, 'cause I love the cold. I freeze everybody out here. Yeah. Oh, I believe that too, yeah. You're talking about, like, see, and that's the kinda stuff, the government and doing all that. It's like the aliens. I didn't wanna know. I believe there's aliens, of course, we're just a speck of, what'd you call this, fly shit in the middle of, no. There's all kinds of, I believe, for sure. But I didn't wanna know for a fact. And then they did come out, what was it, a few years ago with the government officials, and even Obama said when he got elected, he was like, "I just became president." Oh, my coffee. Oh my god. No, wasn't yours. Man, I got me an iced coffee earlier. Well, like, that sounds like an empty cup you're sucking over there. It is good coffee. But okay, tell me about the aliens. And they were like, "What aliens? We're not telling you nothing." And then they came out and said, they had to. Yeah, they said that one of them from Roswell. Um, I don't know. I was really pissed because I was like, man, I didn't want to know. No, but yeah, there's a lot of government secrets and hidden. It just, yeah, I could go down a deep rabbit hole and become extremely paranoid if I went there. I guess there's just, do you? Yeah, he loves that kind of stuff. That freaks me out. I'm just, they're playing with us like we're a game of chess. I remember one time when our biology teacher, or not biology, our science teacher, I can't remember. He asked everybody in the class who is the few that are allowed in the bomb shelters if there was ever a nuclear war. I'm like, there's bomb shelters? And all the rich kids in the room raised their hand. I'm like, well, wait, that's some shit. Yeah, it's scary. I can't even get into politics because it just pisses me off. I mean, you go. even lawyers and DAs, how they wheel and deal with your life, and then you got the senators, and it will just, oh, do this for me, and I'll do that for you, and I don't know, it really just makes me mad. I hate all that stuff. Yeah, I like him too. My kids hated me for that one. I liked him because he wasn't a politician. He was just, he was a businessman. He wasn't afraid to say anything. Like I said, he'd sit on the shitter, I think, in the morning and just tweet and piss at everybody. And if it's losing friends over stuff like that, then you've got to think, were they really ever your friends? If politics is gonna, I mean, my daughter and my son are probably more democratic, or I would say, probably. What would you say? Very liberal. And sometimes we just stop talking about it because it's like, it'll start to get a little heated, and I'll be like, no, we're not even going to go there. Someday you guys will learn that, you know, again, my opinion. But yeah, I liked him. I didn't like him. I don't think I liked him, like, personally liked him. I think he was a jackass, but I liked the way he was kind of running things. And he did so much more for the minority, than they ever even, I don't think anybody even paid attention. They just wanted to hate him so bad, you know? They're like, oh, what did that? Yeah. But yeah, you get into it and it just makes me mad. Here comes my cat. She's gonna make a big noise. There you go. Makes me jump on the table. At least I've seen her coming this time. Usually she makes me scream because she jumps right beside me from the china cabinet next to me. Yeah, I don't think I know. You took a politics class in college, didn't you? He had to get out of the. He was just like it. Just
The road very deep in that road, and there's stuff that we pass, nothing to do with it. Nothing.
yeah,
Nothing to do with it.
yeah. They passed these laws and they had the underlying, little writing down below that has nothing to do with one thing. It's just shady as hell. So yeah, I just stay away from because it does. I mean, people get really heated and over stuff that. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm really disappointed in this past election. I mean, there's no way that was it. It just hurts you. You're like, does your vote even? Your vote doesn't even count now. They're gonna do what they want to do. I'm not sure. I don't think we do have. I haven't heard anything about diesel shortage here. I do too. I think he could too. I think my 3-year-old granddaughter could do a better job than what Biden's doing. I mean, is he still with us? I'm not sure. It's, man, that guy. Yeah, there's no way. Sleepy Creepy Joe. I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about this on YouTube? I don't know. I just got my channel back today. They'll probably turn me off again. This is over. You'll never hear from me again. The men in black will come and get me. And then we're not supposed to mention the C word, which is really stupid, but okay. Yeah, because you're
Proper
not supposed to say
terminology.
certain words. You're not supposed to say the RAP words. We use R or SA and like that. And we find ourselves, that's how we talk over the phone too, when it's just, me and my friends. We still use the, he's like, what does that mean? So I'm like, that means whisper. Yeah, you just kind of get used to it because in chat you can only. And then somebody was in one of um, our favorite YouTubers that does lives, and he does a call-in show. And she calls in and says that her channel was taken down, and she's not even a content creator at all. She's she's just a person that goes into chats and stuff. And they I mean, she said she couldn't even use Google. She had to go in and do a completely different email and everything in order to get onto Google again. Um, just from her, she said that she hasn't really been nasty going into people's chats, which I don't know, it's or making comments on videos. People, especially in true crime, tend to be a little. I know I've gone under my I call her my bitch account if I have something really shitty to say because I don't want to do it on my. But yeah, she was like her thing. She was completely terminated. That the letter that she read, mine just read that I was a severe violation, and I'm like, I haven't even done anything. I haven't even posted a video in like 2 or 3 months, and I know I used the correct terminology. I didn't say the S word. And but she was like, so the one I listened to is Dolly Vision. Shout out Dolly. Um, and he was like, "Have you been nasty in chats? Have you been saying stuff?" She's like, "No, I just said something about it's a this woman whose granddaughter we believe, and she even believes killed her grandson or and her baby." But she says I had something nasty to say about her because I knew she was reading the chat. And she goes, "But other than that, I'm really nice. I haven't said anything." And he's like, "Well, you've had to say something because I mean, this letter she wrote, but she read back was just like, you are. I mean, what all was it saying? It was just violation, and this can get you where you'll never use Google again." And I mean, just going off on her. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I think so too. A Google moderator, but I mean, I've been hearing a lot about people's channels getting taken down, and then I didn't know they were taking just regular subscribers, regular people that just. Yeah, but I mean, just to be somebody in, a regular that doesn't want to do videos or anything, just going in there, just chatting or, huh? Well, yeah, but I'm saying she didn't. She never had any videos or anything. She was just in there. And she said that she completely lost, everything. And when I lost my channel the other day, because this is the YouTube I've had ever since I ever got on YouTube the first time, which was many years ago. And once it was gone, I was like, oh my, the people I subscribed to are gone. I was like lost. I'm sitting there with, I got, you know, I had to rethink who do I watch every day? I was going down the list, and thank goodness one of my somebody that I do watch on a daily, she has all her what she subscribes to listed on her channel. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. So I started hitting subscribe, subscribe. I didn't realize how lost I was without I'm on here every day. That's where I don't even watch TV anymore. It's pretty sad. But well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. It's been almost an hour. I have so cool that you guys came on here and was chatted up with me. I've had a big three all night long. Cool. I appreciate you guys. Okay. Unless you're a mod because it's like, yeah. And I didn't, I was a mod for a couple channels, and I was like, I I'd rather just not sit there and have to, be play hostess. I want to see what, I want to be there listening to, and you can't really listen to what's going on because you're so busy making sure everybody's being good. And I am a moderator for a smaller channel. I call her my they're technically like cop watchers. She's a I call her constitutionalist. Nuh-uh. Lady Liberty did? No way. No.
Yes, I guarantee you, he's like, nobody thinks
No way. Really? I love her to death. I don't know if you guys watch. So they're called it really pisses her and we'll call people off when you call them auditors. We're not auditors. I know. But yeah, there was I just came across this guy's channel on YouTube. He was screaming at this cops. And I was like, that's Texas Williamson County. You don't want to mess with that county at all. And he's on there screaming. I'm like cussing at him. I'm like, whoa, freaked me out. So I started watching him. He hooked up with this other YouTuber. I actually got to meet him here. And then when I went back home and was visiting my family, they were traveling around and they just happened to be in that area too. So I got to meet her. And they're really cool. So she sold everything she has and she went on the road. And she got her a van and her scooter. And I would love to do something like that. Just sell everything and go. But then I don't take everybody with me. And I don't care. Oh, that was really nice meeting you guys. I really appreciate y'all coming in. Go check out some of my videos and subscribe if you like. And yes, I'm going to post some new ones. I've just been, I don't know, we had just so much getting ready for going on here. And my husband's been sick. And so I know I could stream live. This has been fun. I did make that live one time. I was on StreamYard and I got on there and I was like, and somebody popped up and it was in the chat. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I signed off real quick. I was like, oh no. But I will definitely I'll check you guys out too. I appreciate y'all coming by. Have a good night. We'll see y'all later. Now it's gonna take me about 5 minutes probably to figure out how to end this thing. They're like, I think she's still on. Um oh there it is in stream. Okay, y'all have a good night. Bye.